No, actually it's past the moon, behind the Earth, behind the sun. It's out there, hovering around. So the dual mission, the Planck and the Herschel spacecraft are heading there. Herschel is already in place. It took off its camera lens and took a picture with this huge mirror. That is the largest space telescope mirror flown in space so far. And like you know that the sensor for that in the center circle there is where they bounce the light into it. And there it's cooled with liquid hydrogen down to 8 degrees Kelvin. But however, the liquid hydrogen is only at 8 degrees Kelvin. Somehow they managed to get the pickup for the camera down to less than 1 degree Kelvin. Anyone know how you can take 8 degree Kelvin bit of liquid hydrogen and lower its temperature even further? Anyone know?
It's a hell of an ice cube.
Introduce it to Robert's ex-wife. That's the answer.
That'll cool them off.
Yeah.
That'll freeze them out.
Anyway, it took a picture too. Let's have that next picture there, Robert. And there it is. That's a picture of M51, the famous Whirlpool galaxy. Look at that. That's the same galaxy taken with Hubble. That's taken with a 20-year-old telescope that has a smaller mirror.
Photoshop.
Yes. Well, all Hubble images are Photoshop. That's a well-known fact. Everyone knows that. It's all about the wavelength, Kenneth. That's right. It's all about the frequency. You see, you're using the infrared. The infrared's a longer wavelength. You can't take as good pictures with long wavelengths as you can with short ones, even if you have a bigger mirror. And as you can see, the Hubble mirror is a little bigger than a man. The Herschel mirror is about the size of 2 men, and the James Webb Space Telescope that they're going to launch in about 2-3 years, maybe 4 years, 5 years, budget cuts, Obama budget cuts, and all that, will be even much bigger, but that will also be doing stuff in the infrared. Yes, a spiral.
What galaxy is that?
I want you to look closely at this spiral.
No, don't do it.
Look very, very closely.
Don't do it.
Look closely. It's an optical illusion. All right, we got to hurry up here. We got a lot of other stuff. I got hundreds and hundreds of more pictures to show. Robert, let's jump off. Let's go all the way out to Saturn. There we have, I love doing moon shadows of the moons of Saturn. Sure. Yeah, I'll try that one. This is good, because this, here we go, the moon Enceladus around Saturn. This is showing the direction of the geysers or jets in the south pole of Enceladus, the way they squirt material out of there, which is known to be water. Is it water ice or water vapor?
Water ice. Another Cat Stevens reference.
That's right.
Moon shadows, water ice.
Yeah.
Einstein.
Yeah.
It's just all about the cat.
What's his name now?
Yusef Latif Gabarat.
The press release from JPL Laboratories, which operates Cassini Orbiter, done today, says that in this, out of that stuff that comes out of Enceladus and forms the E-ring, they have detected liquid water that comes out. It has to be liquid water because you would not get that much sodium by sublimation. It had to be dissolved in the water to be transported out to the E-ring. Oh, there we go. That's it. That's a radar image of the synthetic aperture radar on Cassini of Titan. I'm pointing this out because there was a flyby of Titan yesterday and they had the radar on, and I should have even better pictures than this for you next week, but we won't have a show, so I'll be watching them alone in my underwear. Yeah, that's my daughter.
Nice legs. Another informative and fact-filled, fun-filled, and star-spangled eruption from Dr. Pete Goldie. Breakneck show. We come to what is really the meat of the Ask Dr. Hal show, and I'm sure our next guest, the host of the show, needs no introduction. Just returned from exploring the trench in the Pacific Ocean, the Marianas Trench, and finding the 3-billed and 2-finned trilobite. I would like to introduce now that polymath, prestigious polymath of prodigious profusion, Dr. Hal, Hal now, Robert.
The chief defect of Henry King was chewing little bits of string. One day he swallowed some which tied itself in ugly knots inside. Physicians of the utmost fame were called at once, but when they came, they answered as they took their fees, "There is no cure for this disease. Henry will very soon be dead." His parents stood about his bed, lamenting his untimely death, when Henry, with his latest breath, cried, "Oh, my friends, be warned by me that breakfast, supper, lunch, and tea are all the human frame requires." With that, the wretched child expires.
Oh.
Yes, in the midst of life, we are in death. But this show, although it will suffer an apparent extinction for a short period of time, will, I am confident to report, be back in some reincarnated form. Yes, a metempsychosis will take place. It shall still have a prolongation of its flickering existence, barring acts of God or the devil. Ladies and gentlemen, this is our guarantee to you. Some of us even believe that the world will end while I'm out of town. And in fact, that's where I have to be, according to the dictates of my order, to be at the landing field for the saucer to pick me and my friends up. But should this not happen, and we must allow even for that possibility, the world will continue, I will come back. In fact, I'll do something that I haven't done before in this show. I've been asked to. I won't make a habit of it, but I'll say a poem of mine. But I don't usually do this. I only occasionally. In fact, I've never done it before, and I won't do it again. But here we go.
Wait.
It's called The Road of Knives. Let me turn the poetry light on here. There we go. World of my delight, hers to bestow, mine to acquire, provided that I go along the road of knives 1,000 leagues or so. Concupiscent joys, hers to confer, mine to have found. When I have found her, let not the fortress and the iron guards deter. Fidelity and love, these she will give, and I receive, provided that I live after I travel through the maelstrom in a sieve. And even as I travel, comes another's suit, effortless and slack, brainless and brute. Into his hairy paw drops down the golden fruit. All right. Thank you for your $20 question. Yes. So that's okay. There's generosity out there, even in this economy.
Yes, indeed.
In times of a staggering iconoclasm, still there are charitable folks out there. 1,000 points of illumination. So, what do you have next?
Trepanation.
Good Lord. That means cutting holes in your head.
Yes.
Well, you know, one could say whatever works, but it's important to recognize this operation of cutting holes in people's heads has been performed throughout human history. In fact, even prehistoric Neanderthal cavemen performed this early surgery of trepanation.
Did you ask the question?
Pete Goldie, is this your question about prehistoric surgery? This is your question? Well, what the hell are you doing up here? It's willing down for you. Not that you don't deserve it at all.
Highly irregular.
Oh, right. Well, you know, we provide an outline, a skeleton to hang the show on, but it doesn't always go that way. So cavemen sawed each other's heads open. And you know what? They lived, because the bones that we have found are healed at the edges. Maybe they let the demons out. Maybe they softened the pressure on the brain, which was causing the problem. Cavemen were nothing if not pragmatic. But not only these swarthy simian sons of the soil practiced this ancient method of alleviating mental congestion. The surgeons of ancient Egypt, who took it to a high art, also knew well the validity of the procedure of loosening the joints of the skull. However, this, of course, like any surgical procedure, is best used sparingly. And what's this? Beat over your back and drinking more of our Frenet. Oh, no, I see you're procuring Frenet for a member of our audience. He robs from the rich and he gives to the poor.
This is highly irregular. She was not officially awarded the Frenet.
Take this with my blessing, my children, yes. And there you have it.